Your bathroom sits inside your cat's sphere of influence. It's their space as much as yours, maybe more. So when you close that door, you're not just stepping into a room. From your cat's point of view, you've locked them out of their own territory. And here's the psychological twist. Animals assign higher value to things they can't access. The moment that door clicks shut, your cat doesn't just want to be near you anymore. They want in, specifically because they can't get in. You're not fighting curiosity when you close that door. You're accidentally training it. Every time the door shuts and they scratch, meow, or wait right outside, and every time you eventually open it or give them attention for doing it, you're running a loop you didn't know you started. The closed door is the cue. The vigil outside is the learned response. You built this. But that's the explanation that makes surface-level sense. The one nobody talks about goes a lot deeper. And it's the reason I want you to stay to the end, because the last piece of this puzzle is the one that actually changes how you see your cat. Cats slow blink at their humans more often after their humans have slow blinked at them first, compared to no interaction at all. It's a back and forth, a real exchange. In a second experiment, cats had a higher chance of approaching a total stranger after that stranger slow blinked at them, compared to a neutral expression. Think about what that means. A stranger slow blinked, and the cat walked toward them. That's not random. That's communication. And the bathroom, where you're sitting still and making quiet eye contact, is basically the perfect setup for it. Your cat isn't just hanging around. They're trying to talk to you, using the one expression their species developed for exactly that purpose. Cats read an unbroken stare as a threat, but a slow blink reads as an invitation. Next time your cat follows you in, try it. Half close your eyes, blink slowly, look away. Watch what happens. There's a shelter study that takes this further. Cats that responded to a human slow blink with their own eye closures got adopted faster than cats that didn't. This isn't folklore. It's a measurable social signal with measurable consequences. And your cat is offering it to you in a small, quiet room with no distractions while you're sitting still, which is exactly when cats choose to approach. Behaviorists have noted cats are drawn to us most reliably when we're stationary, sitting on the toilet, at a desk, in bed. Stillness removes the ambiguity of movement and opens a low-threat window for them to close the distance. The toilet is almost irrelevant. If you sat in a chair in that room and read a book instead, your cat would do the exact same thing. There's a persistent idea that cats are independent, that they tolerate us rather than need us, that dogs are the loyal ones. A study on how domestic cats respond to their caregivers suggests their attachment has been badly underestimated. Researchers at Oregon State University ran cats through a version of the same attachment test originally built for human infants. Cat and owner enter an unfamiliar room together. The owner leaves, then comes back. What the cat does in that reunion moment is what gets scored. When they tested adult cats, the results nearly mirrored the kitten population. 65.8% secure, 34.2% insecure. That's almost exactly the rate you see in human babies. And here's the number that should surprise anyone who grew up thinking dogs were the bonded ones. Cats showed a secure attachment rate slightly higher than a 2018 study of 59 companion dogs, where 61% came back secure and 39% insecure. Your cat, statistically, is more likely to be securely bonded to you than a dog is to its owner. Let that sit for a second. The researchers also tried to shift that attachment. 39 kittens went through a 6-week training and socialization course. 31 stayed as an untrained control group. 2 months later, they ran the test again. 64.3% of the kittens were still categorized as securely attached, and the training made no measurable difference either way. Once an attachment style forms, it seems, that's probably how it stays. Which means bathroom following isn't a phase. It's not something your cat is going to grow out of. It reflects a bond pattern that formed early and stayed. Lead researcher Kristen Vitale put it this way. Attachment to humans may represent an adaptation of the offspring-caretaker bond, and cats, like most domesticated animals, hold on to juvenile traits well into adulthood, which is a sharper way of saying your cat never fully outgrows kittenhood around you. You are still, in some biological sense, their caregiver. And the bathroom follow is a security-seeking behavior from an animal that is genuinely, measurably attached to you. If that number surprised you as much as it surprised me, hit like right now, because the next layer is the one almost nobody talks about, and it changes everything you just heard. Elimination, for cats, has never been neutral. In the wild, cats bury their waste specifically to reduce odor, because odor is what gets a vulnerable animal tracked. A crouching cat is, in that exact moment, physically exposed. It can't flee at full speed. It can't fight effectively. Every instinct in its body knows this. And that ancient wiring is still fully active in your house cat, whether they're a ragdoll on a heated tile floor or a wildcat in a forest. The exposure calculation hasn't changed. This is also why a startled cat sometimes has an accident. Fear triggers a temporary shutdown of non-essential functions, including digestion, as part of a fight-or-flight response. It's not misbehavior. It's ancient emergency wiring that has no idea it's living in an apartment. So here's the thing. When your cat follows you to the bathroom, they may not just be seeking your company. They may be covering your vulnerable moment, the same way they'd want their own covered. Behaviorists trace this instinct back to the idea that ancestral wildcats know they're most physically exposed while sleeping or eliminating, and project that same vulnerability onto the humans they're attached to. Your cat isn't confused about privacy. On some level, they understand you're in a moment of exposure, and they're doing the only thing their instincts know how to do about it. They're standing guard. Even the litter box backs this up. Research on feline elimination shows cats are reading detailed chemical information in their environment. In controlled studies, cats given a choice between two litter trays consistently avoided the one treated with certain anal gland compounds. Your cat's litter box is essentially a chemical bulletin board, and the bathroom, meanwhile, is a small, enclosed room saturated with your individual scent. For a scent-driven animal, that's not just a room. That's a concentrated signal of you. And the last piece. Touching a familiar cat has been shown to raise oxytocin, and cat companionship has been linked to buffering effects against anxiety and depression, similar to human social support. But here's the nuance that makes this real instead of sentimental. Oxytocin in avoidant or anxious cats actually dropped after a forced interaction. It only flows when the cat chooses to be there, on their own timing. The bathroom follow works as a bonding moment precisely because your cat chose it. You didn't call them in. You didn't pick them up. They decided. And if they're purring while they sit there with you, that low-frequency rumble has been linked to lower heart rate and blood pressure in humans too. You thought you were having a private moment. You were actually in the middle of a two-way physiological event. So when you started this video, you probably thought the bathroom thing was a quirk, maybe a little annoying, maybe kind of funny. Here's what's actually happening. Your cat is running two ancient rulebooks at the same time. One is a solitary hunter's instinct to monitor vulnerability, theirs and yours. The other is a domesticated social animal's measurable, hormonally real attachment to the person they consider their caregiver. In that bathroom, both rulebooks point to the same door. It was never about the bathroom. It was never even about the door. It was about being trusted enough to stand guard over someone's most defenseless moment. That was never a strange habit. That was always the highest compliment your cat knows how to pay. If this changed how you see your cat, tell me in the comments. Does yours wait outside, push the door open, or just sit and stare? I want to know, and so does everyone else watching. And if you want to go even deeper, the video on why your cat sleeps where it sleeps is going to hit the same way this one did. It's right up next.